How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlet, and I'm really excited, guys. We have some really awesome information, guys, today. This is actual info, and then also some kind of sort of leaks and stuff that we can talk about as well, guys. So let's get started. First things first, guys. Cerebi.net posted this, and this is actually also posted by official Pokemon Twitter, but guys, here it is. Cerebi update. ALOLA forms of Kanto Pokemon soon coming to Pokemon Go. Now, I'm actually going to read the article itself, but we can actually look here on the Pokemon Twitter as well what they kind of say. And they say, get ready to expand your collection in hashtag Pokemon Go soon. Start stocking up on Pokeballs and keep your eyes peeled for certain ALOLA form Pokemon in the wild. And then they actually link over here to the actual post and stuff. Now, this is amazing. Now, see, ALOLA forms are Gen 7, right? They're from Gen 7, or like, you know, they're from ALOLA. That's why they're ALOLA forms. I think most of us get this. But the strangest part is, they have yet to put out Generation, I think, 4, Generation 5, Generation 6, that sort of stuff. Those gens and those, you know, regions have yet to get their Pokemon added to this game. Also, I just realized my camera is just casually standing there. Either way, so they're not in the game yet, but they're already adding the ALOLA forms. This is pushing forward this narrative of this upcoming game, guys. I am so excited. I do have some hints and stuff I talk about in this video as well about this upcoming game, and we're hoping for a reveal very soon. Now, what's really interesting about this specifically, I'm going to read through the actual post here. I'm also going to read on Cerebi what they have to say, but we'll start with the actual post here on the May 21st on the actual page of Pokemon, where they officially say ALOLA to Pokemon Go. ALOLA forms of Pokemon originally discovered in the Kanto region are coming to Pokemon Go. So far in Pokemon Go, we've seen Pokemon originally discovered in the Kanto and Johto and Hoenn region. Next up, be on the lookout for ALOLA forms of Pokemon originally discovered in the Kanto region, which will soon be making their debut. Stock on Pokeballs and get ready to expand your Pokemon collection. So they actually skipped all the other ones. See, they've already done Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, right? But where's Sinnoh? Where's Unova? Where's Kalos? Where is, you know, eventually also ALOLA as well? Where are the actual ALOLA Pokemon? That sort of stuff. Those will eventually come. But the fact that they're putting these ones out, that's a very good point, because that opens the possibility for way more regional variants to pop up in this upcoming game. Now, let me explain why I'm saying this. Because if they're willing, if they have the willingness to already add in these in the game, if they're willing to skip a bunch of generations just to add in these ALOLA forms, then there's a huge chance they're willing to skip generations to add in ALOLA forms of Johto. Think about it, right? They've done it now for Kanto. If the next game features Johto regional variants, they're so much more likely to do it for these ones as well. I'm just going to be honest, this makes me very excited. I am so freaking on edge right now. But let's read the Cerebi post and what they actually say here as well. So, in the games department, Pokemon Go, Niantic have announced that the ALOLA forms of Pokemon from the Kanto region are soon to be added to Pokemon Go. At present, we don't have full details about how their forms will work, but we'll provide full details as and when we can. So guys, this is freaking fantastic. But there is something else I want to mention about it, because there are some things that popped up that I didn't really know about, but I asked King Nito on Twitter, and I also was messaged by specifically Manuel. Manuel actually hit me up on Facebook and sent me this as well, but I'm going to read the one from King Nito first, which I think is the one right here. Here we go. So this is the one that he sent to me. So this is actually a 4chan post, which said something very similar to what we're seeing right now. And this is the same trip code, apparently. The same person, okay? And if you don't know what trip code is, essentially like the unique code you get on 4chan, so you can be, you know, track who like posts things, but like, you know, you can't track them, still anonymous, whatever. But you can track what stuff they posted. And this is apparently the same trip code as the person who did the first official leak back in April 1st for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The person who originally leaked it back then, right? And what he says here is, like Pokemon Go's first release, only Kanto Pokemon will be available in Let's Go. Which means they will be available in the start only Kanto Pokemon, but they're going to add Pokemon over time. So the possibility for there being like ALOLA forms in this game is very likely, in my honest opinion. So that was one of the things. Now, I do have some other stuff I want to show you as well. There is actually a image version I want to show you right here, which is slightly more, I guess, easy to see. So here it is. Okay. So it's called Real Leaks, which is the same name of the person who did the original April, like 1st April or April, you know, Fool's Day, you know, post about the whole Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. And like they say right here, like Go's first release, only Kanto Pokemon will be available in Let's Go. And people weren't really, you know, some people didn't take it seriously. Some people were like, this is actually going to be bad for the game, which I agree with. I hope they do not just do specifically just Kanto Pokemon at the start, but also include like Alolan, like, you know, like ALOLA forms and that sort of stuff. And like, not like ALOLA forms from ALOLA, but like, you know, regional variants. I do hope they include that sort of stuff. because it's needed, guys. This is very exciting news. I want to know your opinions, guys. Are going to be catching these ALOLA forms? Will you be hyped up for them? And what do you think we'll be getting in this upcoming Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee game that we are assuming is going to happen? What do you think specifically we're going to get, like in terms of, you know, new forms and that sort of stuff? Do you think we'll be getting some stuff like that, or will we just be starting with Kanto when the games are released, and then we'll have to wait a long time until they give us more stuff, which I think would be honestly horrendous if we had to wait for a long time to get like another set of releases. But honestly, I think they'll give us some sort of variants or some sort of new versions or forms or regional variants and stuff of these Pokemon, and that's just my honest, you know, to the point opinion. And I gotta give like a huge thank you to Manuel, because he actually sent me more info here, and he says right here then again, so that's from the same trip code of the Major League dated 1st of April. I think it's something to discuss. Would be a very bold decision by Game Freak, and being a competitive player, a very disappointing one. Furthermore, it'll be very interesting to wondering how Game Freak would manage to integrate or remove a lot of stuff. Dark type, for example, would disappear, except for Mega Gyarados. If Megas would appear in the game, and I'm not sure if it's going to be going, you know, all in or whatever, and a lot of forms of Persian, Muck, Eradicate, Steel only on Magnemite, Magnetone, Fairy just for Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, etc. Like, this is actually something I agree with him. There's a lot of issues if this one is right here real. If this is real, there's a lot of issues with it. But that also puts into question, if this person is the same person with the same trip code, according to Manuel here, if they are the same people with the same trip codes, that opens up a lot of problems, okay? That opens up a lot of issues, because it could possibly be that this is not real, what he's saying right here. This could be BS, right? Because there's so many issues that come with that potential if you're removing, you know, several typings. You're literally removing, you know, the dark typing, fairy typing, and whatnot, and you're also going to have to literally work around a lot of issues to make this work in the same way. With Pokemon Go, you didn't have that same issue. It was kind of easier for them to implement, I feel like, because those things were not as important. But in the games, we've come accustomed to, you know, the Z moves, the Mega Evolutions, that sort of stuff. If they all of a sudden just decide, oh, Megas don't exist anymore, that would be a very, very bad move in my honest opinion. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Megas, but I personally feel like that would be a very dumb move of them to do. So guys, what do you think about this? I think it's amazing that Mega Evolutions, or sorry, Alola forms are going to be coming in Pokemon Go very soon. I am so excited. It actually makes me kind of wonder if we're ever going to get like Megas in these games, which I think is very unlikely, but who knows, maybe. Either way, so next up on the agenda is this right here. So this was sent to me by Jake Riesi. Riesi actually sent this to me and asked me, hey, give me some of your opinions, because this is really weird. There are like these really odd things within Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, which is something I want you to take a look at, and it's more hints for upcoming Kanto stuff. So one of the things he mentions is that, you know, the two Pokemon you can receive kind of for free in the game, and kind of like, you know, in different areas, are the two Pokemon that are supposed to be in this upcoming game. Eevee, you know, is able to be gotten at the daycare as far as I know, and Pikachu, as far as I remember, I think you receive him for doing, yeah, the Mantine surfing, right? So you do the Mantine surfing, and you can receive him. And it's really interesting, right, that both of these Pokemon are received, and these are the Pokemon that are supposedly going to be on the covers of the upcoming main series games on the Switch, ladies and gentlemen. Then he also sent me this, which is something that I found really interesting, and this is, again, thank you to Jake once again for this, and he essentially sent me this image telling me, like, you know, there's this old man in the game that, like, I'm not sure which island he was on, but he's on this island in ALOLA, and he's saying essentially that many trainers traveled from the Kanto and the Johto region. So he mentions Johto in here, not just Kanto. Johto and Kanto region, they traveled together and formed the town that the players within at the current time within this image, and with this old man's firm as well. So he says here, many trainers who traveled in Kanto and Johto long ago came together to form this town. And then it says, so maybe the Pokemon people brought back from Kanto have increased here in ALOLA. So this is kind of like an obvious thing. We kind of know that Pokemon from Kanto specifically were brought over. There's even the potential, people have said, like, that certain Pokemon that only exist in ALOLA, yet, like Yungoos, were originally from Kanto, and they were brought over. That's just theories, though, but, you know, that's besides the point. But this is actually a really interesting thing, because there's so many mentions of Kanto, and I know a lot of people have said, you know, the reason they mention Kanto is because it was the 20th anniversary. It's this, it's that, yada, yada, yada. But the thing, though, is Ultra Sun and Moon were not released during their anniversary, right? It wasn't their, like, that was past their anniversary, and there were still, like, new mentions, like, new things that popped up that weren't in just in Sun and Moon actually popped up. Like, for example, why did Team Rocket appear all of a sudden as Rainbow Rocket? That's a thing that always, again, relates back to Kanto, because the leader of that team was Giovanni, for crying out loud, and he was able to, like, time travel away or whatever, or through a wormhole. Again, so many things, so many strange things happening, and again, so many messages I'm getting right now about this Kanto stuff, guys, about these Kanto, like, ALOLA forms. It is fantastic. I'm excited. But these hints are very interesting. I want to know your thoughts about them, guys. I want to know your thoughts about the Pokemon Go stuff. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name's RuffleReality. Have a great freaking day, guys. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Or sometime later today, maybe. We'll see.